Hello guys, welcome back to Intermezzo. Yep, this will likely be my last game that I'm going to cover. Actually, was trying to make a video of an earlier game, but then at the end of the recording I realized the recording was botched, so I have no motivation to do it all over again. So this game will at least actually be the penultimate game to finish. And at this point it was between me and Pajada. So if I was able to win this game, it doesn't matter if Pajada is third or second. I will be guaranteeing a win in the league and promotion to GM. So it was a very significant game. So I will prefer a good performance here to secure the promotion. So we have H8 as Hammurabi, always nice. And there's no Confucius, so maybe the overall general nice leaders. There's Cleopatra, obviously. And then H1 there's Ziska, but no Nostradamus. Saladin, always nice. Barbarossa in the game, so with Pajada in the game, Barbarossa is one option. Always. For him at least. And then some culture guys in the second age, Suez Canal with Cook, but no ocean liner. And then H3 there's some science synergy, some culture synergy also, but no Hollywood at least. So let's see what direction this game takes. This Praetorianer, he chooses to go for Colosseum. He has a wonder or a card, and yeah, that wonder is probably the best. There's only one more wonder showing, even though that's a good one, but maybe can't expect to have that at least for one selection, or maybe it's possible, but having a nice wonder, always nice. So for me then there's basically 2 yellows or a leader, and while those yellows, I mean taking UG and Ridgeland, I mean it could be fine, but I prefer to have a leader already. And there's this kind of game, there's Suez, and there's also Columbus, so I value Sun Tzu quite highly. Cleo with no guarantee of getting a wonder, even though it's quite unlikely that there'd be no wonder revealed from the deck, but it's still possible. And Hippo might be picked, but then again, I like to have Sun Tzu in these sort of pajada games myself, rather than him having it also. So yeah, there's some synergy in the mix of leaders and wonders for Sun Tzu, and I quite like him. The pajada just takes the wonder. I mean, he can get a nice leader also. And if he took a lot of cards, then the library would fall down to even one civil action. So that's not too great. Or it definitely would be for one, for me, available for me for one, yeah. So yeah, Praetorianer took the Colosseum. So Praetorianer then decides to go for EG. Yeah, it's always something you have to consider. Like this, if you let it go, then maybe Pajada would get it for one. I may not take it for two. So at least now that he already has a wonder, can maybe afford it quite nicely, but does not take a leader. so it wants to get his economy going a bit. Also, and then if you take Cleo, you probably want to elect her and use her resources immediately. Hippo, you also want to elect as soon as possible. And there's Hammurabi and Boudica coming down, so probably can pick one of those up. Even though Boudica could be a bit weird with Sun Tzu in play. So for me, I wanted to get the use of stuff going. But yeah, it became a bit weird for me. If I just took some cards, then the roads would be probably maybe gone. If I took cards from the row. Yeah, I mean, it's actually not entirely certain. There's a lot of leaders blocking the row, but I still wanted to rather use the civil action this turn just to take a wonder rather than taking something like frugality. And that's the turn. Already draw some nice tactics. But has a wide variety of options for leader, but choose to go for Cleo. I mean, that gives a nice turn, always with the library, just to get the mine going and also the step. And next turn, you can always build the second step. Praetorianer seeds. And as said, there's Boudica would be a bit weird to play. I mean, Hammurabi also versus Sun Tzu, but he is still in the first hit, so it isn't that bad. So Hammurabi could be quite strong still. Elect starts going for the wonder, at least just rushes the wonder, which is quite nice with Hammurabi. But like this, he doesn't take alchemy or anything, just goes for the Colosseum finish. So as we can see, I've drawn 4 cards, but no strong colonies. I wouldn't want to commit to Columbus just now. Yeah, he could be a nice replacement for Sun Tzu, but there's the likes of Ziska and maybe with having drawn the heavy cavalry, could be even Genghis Khan time. So I didn't want to commit to Columbus, and there's some nice stuff I can do anyway. Increase population, get the lab going to get out of corruption. Like this, I will have next turn for sure the resources to even rush the Roman roads. And I actually decide to even start this turn while taking alchemy also. So next turn I will have science for alchemy, or I can just finish the roads. I draw Dark Ages and Call to Arms. Maybe, yeah, Dark Ages, nice knowledge. Call to Arms could be suitable. Just finishes wonder. Takes frugality. At least he hasn't drawn vast one with those 2 draws he had. So just takes the card. Praetorianer seeds again. Civil life, that could help me and get some nice stuff going. Takes for the first iron, breakthrough and pops, and even can take the alchemy. So last turn pajada had the last alchemy for 2, but chose to just finish the wonder, which is probably the best anyway. But missing out on alchemy is not the best one. With Cleo, you probably wanna have some nice projects after getting the first wonder. But yeah, it could be just fine also. Maybe take another wonder and build that. So for me, I see the call to arms. It's not for sure I will be the strongest, but at least I know something about the coming deck. There's some more signs revealed. First of all, I decide to, this had some different options for the development of civil life. I was playing turns where I had to develop alchemy, but I landed on just using it to pop, finish the roads, and then take rich land. So like this, I will have a free population for next for the upcoming round, and I get the roads, Roman roads finished. I wanna have a copy of rich land. The first iron is gone. If I have to go for coal, the rich land would be a nice one anyway. And there's two of them showing now. And if I had gone for the alchemy, I could have also upgraded those. But like this, I finish the roads, I get out of consumption once more. So I will have a free population and no consumption. I draw some more stuff, open borders agreement and knowledge of the ancients. And at this point I was eyeing the Genghis Khan quite heavily, if I just could get him. But I built another lab, maybe sees that he wants to get a bit more use for Clio and be a bit more safe for the game. And also some more food possibilities. So like this, he has a use for Clio at least for 2 turns. Praetorianer seeds again. I think he seeded 3 of those events. Just goes for the iron. Popping like this, he leaves himself open for 2 more upgrades next turn. So a strong start for him with Hammurabi. Get the other iron, and maybe go for some alchemies also, and code, just to invest those resources and sign a bit better. Like this, at least he's not taking Genghis Khan, but probably has no tactic for him. And Genghis Khan will be available for me. So I decided to see the knowledge. Yeah, I'm not like mega happy about seeding that, since pajada could also use the extra resources, maybe finishing the Eepogi a bit sooner, since I'm planning a bit of a strength push here. First of all, there's the free religion. I can take it since I popped last turn. I pop now. Start going for the alchemy and take Genghis Khan. So while I could elect, but I wasn't maybe willing to. I would have to show the tactic now. And there's some knights coming down, so maybe I just won't have to push next turn while I still have the monopoly on the tactic. So just decided to wait a bit and then maybe leave the other 2 players guessing a bit, even though when you pick Genghis Khan you probably always have to heavy carry. Oh, actually, yeah, I decided to show it, but like this it won't be released to the other players until my next turn, or the turn after my next turn. So I had it was mostly about the hand space, which also you can't keep that many cards I want to keep the open borders agreement for maybe. It's maybe a bit hard to offer that anyway, but I wanted to still keep it, and also an aggression. And also, yeah, the main reason obviously being that I only have the 2 military actions. So if I want to build or fill up a tactic next turn, I need to either build a unit or reveal the tactics. So yeah, that was the main reason, so that I can in 2 turns get one heavy cavalry going. So pajada takes knights for 2. Has a swords tactic, but maybe has another one also. Or maybe if I just have something like medieval army, could be one possibility that would get upgraded, but maybe not that likely. Praetorianer goes for the iron upgrades, which he should. Also takes warfare. It sees that having even more of those military actions could be useful. So I actually seed Reign of Terror. I will be pushing a lot of strength now, and I'm not expecting the other guys to, or both of them to, overtake me in strength anytime soon. My pajada pushed a bit, and I was actually hit by my own call to arms, but it wasn't like too bad. I can still get out of corruption quite nicely. I had to go for first of all upgrade heavy cavalry. Go for the swordsman, and like this I can build another swordsman and another warrior and go up to 9. And let's say if Praetorianer does not have a nice way to defend, he might be open for an aggression. Yeah, missing the one civil action could have popped, maybe. That would be the most likely choice. But it didn't do too much. It actually drew immigration that, I mean, yeah, it's not the absolute best one, but could be played. Pajada seeds test knowledge, which, yeah, it wasn't too great. It will give him actually, yeah, he didn't have enough resources. He had actually had it for, no, he had it. So it's the second step he needs to build. He didn't have 5 rocks total, but after this knowledge, he can actually finish the Eepogi, and yeah, that was, yeah, I did see it myself, but maybe if it had not come out now, it would have been a bit more trickier for pajada to defend with 2 military actions. But like this, he can, yeah, he also finds Saladin, can finish the wonder, and he's safe from aggression at least. So let's see if Praetorianer decides to prepare for, if he even can. There's actually a Ziska on the row, could help with certain tactics. I mean, at least there's the fighting band available. But he chooses not to go for. Oh yeah, he got hit by the call to arms, so he had only 3, and yeah, with Hammurabi 4 civil actions, so could be a bit hard for him to take Siska. I mean that cold arms probably made it so that he can't easily go for his Siska here. So at least it did something. Like this, he's even guaranteed to take the hit from aggression. And let's just go for the enslave. And with those extra stuff, I can actually pop twice, which is very strong. Just now before the age ends. And I think I drew even Rebellion earlier, so I know about that. I think I can upgrade my lab. And with the last action, I mean, yeah, there's Cardo, but maybe, yeah, I don't know about any colonies. And Iron is maybe a bit late for Iron, but then again I can go for even full Iron next turn if I find no other use for my selection. So in this setup, I think Iron is still fine. And with 12 science, I'm ready for a government. So there's some more rocks. I mean, it's just the last turn on H1, so I get one more rock compared to maybe next turn. And even if there's a Hanuman on the road, I could just go for it, and then when Roman Roads switches to science, I can still go for Iron on the turn after for sure. But I guess the code going. Pops probably has a tactic. Doesn't reveal, so doesn't have a tactic. Would have revealed it for sure. But yeah, pajada has 6 selections. Praetorianer also has 5, and I'm on just 4. So selections is not too great for me, but if there's an early government form, it could be fixed quite soon. Yeah, and as said, that was the Siska last turn. Maybe could have taken him if he wouldn't have been hit by the coat arms, but then again he was guaranteed Siska the turn after for 1, so maybe it was still worth it to do something else. This can go for Siska, can go for Swordsman also. Upgrades both and copies tactic. So now it's not too great to do it since you missed the draws, but then again you're safe from aggression, so probably it's still worth it. Still the weakest though, and takes corruption also, but he has a lot of rocks. That's it, the immigration. It's the only thing I have to seed. There's some more food, which is a bit annoying since I'm now on 3 food, can't pop. But at least there's the Hanuman on the row. Pajada would definitely like it. Can go for it next turn. And just having an early government here is just very strong. And as I said, I can go for Iron next turn anyway. So I go for the Hanuman, and then I have a bit of a problem with my corruption issues. So yeah, I decided to build a temple. I just seeded immigration. It's in this deck, so it's a bit of a maybe hard for the other guys to see the immigration here. There's Praetorianer would also tie for it. But yeah, like this, I can justify building another religion here. And with that extra happy face, I can then invest in another swordsman. And I actually just decide to upgrade my last remaining 2 warriors just to get out of corruption. which means bad for my draws, but then again, corruption with on bronze, it's not too great either, and well, yeah, I was gonna lose the rocks to corruption anyway, but like this I'm not guaranteed full iron next turn, but at least 2 upgrades. I also got heritage, I'm a bit low on science now, then I have some civil actions. Could also maybe theology could be useful, but with my science it would be just better to wait for organized religion. So yeah, pajada seeds. That's pestilence. Praetorianer does not have a free population, neither do I. So let's see what I must lose. Pajada seeds and have a very early strategy. Just has the signs for it. Maybe it's a bit. In some cases, there might be dark ages or so. So like this, he gets out of range and has a nice way to boost his military. Dispense a warrior, builds it as a cavalryman or the knight, and some more rocks. So he missed out on the iron, so any rocks are nice for him. So Praetorianer does have a lot of rocks, and like this he indicates that not one of those H1 cards is a nice colony at least. He has no colonies before, and Suez Canal, not really an option like that. And actually he can just take the statue and let's see if he even plays masonry into his finishes. Yeah, so like this he almost escapes corruption, but at least what it does, he gets more food production with those extra yellows, and maybe there's not much else to do. He's low on science, so just getting some value for now. Extra yellows always nice, and maybe next turn he can escape corruption. So I see it terrorism, which is the only card I drew. We'll probably have to or not have the least culture by the time it gets out. So maybe it's a bit questionable. But with pajada taking open growth, I just think maybe if there's a nicely timed scientific method, he chooses to go for before even. Yeah, if he goes for scientific method before coal, so it could hit pajada quite badly. I mean, it would hit me also, but I will be at least getting some more rock production. And maybe there's, in some cases, a way I won't have the most culture, but that may be a bit of a reach. But at least I know about it, and I won't be maybe building any bigger urban buildings now. Like this, I can start going for the iron. Actually, I said it in part also since the pestilence was revealed, and I knew about the immigration that's in. So if I could find the immigration from the deck, it could help me rebuild my stuff a bit quicker. And so maybe the main reason was just to see it to possibly get the immigration, and then just deal with the consequences later of the terrorism. But like this, I was the strongest. I see that I got the immigration, so pestilence lost me a mine, but then I was able to rebuild the mine right away. And reserves, just maybe to be able to pop next turn, or just in general a very useful card for me, and Ravadia. Yeah, I wouldn't want to give it to pajada for one when he's low on science. So my military hand is empty once more, but at least I get a full draw now. Pajada. Actually, yeah, disbands another warrior, so he's slowly rebuilding his army into the heavy cavalry one. Even decides to copy just to be strongest. It's a bit costly for his military actions, but maybe he's drawn something useful already. And then just takes a bunch of cards. Decides to go for call first. Maybe at least taking a call now. There's also something method coming down, so maybe there's an argument for going for that first and then the call, since there's also what in the game. Praetorianer doesn't see it. This pops out of corruption. Build some more units, some more culture also. Breakthrough and Robespierre. So yeah, he is also low on science, so Robespierre is a very nice boost. Just getting well, preferably Republic going quite soon. But it's still weakest. As it Independence Declaration, once again it's the only one for me to see it. Yeah, the Reign of Terror was from me. At least I was not the weakest, so I was happy to push here. Upgrade my last mine. Take a remnant for some, well, at the very least, maybe getting to 3 cavalrymen at some point if there's no better tactic for the post-Khan age. Like this, I have some nice research production, but then again, I don't have the most science. Pajada maybe has other things to do, such as maybe go for the scientific method or coal. But since there's what coming, he might go for the scientific method first, which could be nice news for the terrorism. But I felt if I don't take a Harvard and if I don't make it fall off the game, then it might be quite nice for Praetorianer also. So while I have some nice science production and more doesn't hurt, and I just wanted to go for the Harvard. And I also wanted to go for it with architecture. So maybe next turn I can play the reserves and then just have 11 rocks to use on the college. And yeah, after Pajada pushed for strength, I don't have a defense card, so if Pajada were to sacrifice, I wouldn't be able to defend, but I was fully ready to take that risk, since it would be very costly for him to sacrifice, and even that wouldn't make it guaranteed. So yeah, but I was very aware about the situation. I was technically defending, but then again, not totally sure. But then tries an aggression, but on Praetorianer, but he defends. Takes what? And goes for the call first, which is probably correct. And also wants to have the scientific method. And also Kanban, so his skips efficient upgrade could be very useful for him. But yeah, I'm not totally sure. I mean, there's both republics. I mean, the first one will be going to to Praetorianer, he will be doing the revolution next turn, probably. And obviously, common is better if you plan on going for some military stuff. But maybe there's a way to just go for the efficient upgrade and maybe rush the economy a bit better. Maybe then go for Republic or maybe Ace 3 government. So now he switches to Robespierre. Republic now has an even 8 civil actions. Takes a lot of cards. So has swordsman already, but then again I also have swordsman, so maybe it could happen that there was a copy of rifles available next turn also. Also team sports. I mean, yeah, there's beer in the game, but maybe organized religion could be a way also forward. He doesn't have the most population. Well, he's in no dire need of happy faces, but maybe organized religion could be a bit more flexible way. And still takes corruption. So he's taking corruption a lot. It's starting to hurt him a bit. I mean, there could be a way of he couldn't pop. So maybe there was no nice way since he made the revolution. And then maybe, he couldn't use any military actions to get out of the corruption, so just had to eat it. I see it in national pride. I think I'll have the most culture probably, and then there's even foray played by pajada most likely. So maybe that was a part of the reason he wanted to just secure the copy of Conman last turn. There was a pretty big likelihood that the foray gets revealed and he gets some more resources from that. But like this, I still, I would have had the option to just play the reserves and then go for the Harvard, but like this, I save on selection. I can go for the architecture, just finish the college, go up to 8 science production. Then I want to play the cultural heritage. It's not entirely certain if the age will end or not. I want to organize religion, Napoleon, Richland. So yeah, like this I can get some nice cards. I mean, at this point I was looking at pajada. I mean, he doesn't have the food income yet, but maybe if he has drawn something like cannon or something, it could get ugly quite fast. So the ones, while there's also Bach and Newton, but those are not showing, and I just wanted to have a replacement leader and be a bit more safe. I still have the bit of a culture lead here. So in general, I just wanted to be a bit safer since I don't have a tactic yet drawn. So I found many of my recent games, I just picked Napoleon when there's something like Bach available, but it's been more of a sort of transitional leader. Had not at least not always mind of going military myself, but it's it's nice for me to have Napoleon. I mean, obviously my opponents already have a leader from H2, but having a bit of a Napoleon. For some time to be a bit safer once Khan in this game will be perished. Just to transition into a better economy and be a bit more safe. So pajada goes for 1 lab upgrade. Test subject breeding, I mean those were quite late. But he wanted to secure a copy. There's even another one. So yeah, it was in part, yeah, there's only 2 copies of selective, and I would also prefer to have 1. So both of those were taken for 3, and I understand the reasoning for that. So it was just, yeah, I would have, that's my last weakness really in my food. So those were taken away for 3. But also age is ending if there's early mech ag. Could be just fine. Goes for the selective right away. He's low on science still, so that will have to be fixed at some point. But that doesn't have a solution yet. I actually see prosperity. It's very nice for me. I can, with my organized religion, it will be in the next deck. So if I just upgrade some organized religions, I will have some nice food boost. And this scientific breakthrough was a nice surprise. Going for the Harvard, it's very strong now. I choose Napoleon as leader. Go for justice system. Also organized religion. Upgrade wise with architecture very cheaply. And then I also want to have the cannon. Yeah, there's the second cannon still in the deck, but I wasn't giving this one to pajada for 1. So like this, I'm ready for the prosperity, and yeah, if I just have something like defensive army, I could threaten two armies of those. I mean, obviously, maybe pajada is not yet ready for war, but could be soon. And I can actually, for free, copy the tactic now. It's just a fighting band, but at least I'm not weakest, and I don't lose any draws. It was some colonies and some wars, or have drawn wars and aggressions. And let's just take a look at pajada's, after pajada's turn, the overall scores. Pair seats, there's uncertain borders, so not being weakest paid off. Organized religion. He has some urgent happy issues. Goes for that. Upgrades the lab. So yeah, he's getting his what online, but it's a bit slow still. He had some other things to fix. His happiness needed to be fixed, and also the extra science does not hurt. So maybe next turn he can get some nice watt boost. But yeah, right on time. There's terrorism. I will lose something also, but yeah, let's take a look at the overview. I have the most culture, and me and pajada have the best science income, and yeah, Praetorianer is the only one with food income for now, but pajada will have some soon. And civil actions, yeah, Praetorianer has the best civil actions. I have maybe the most balanced one, 7 and 5. But it will be an interesting third age. But yeah, I lose an organized legion to the terrorism, and also pajada will lose. So yeah, also destroying a lab could do something, but then again, like this, he's practically forced to rebuild the religion, so it will stall his production enhancements quite a bit. So it was a very nice cut to come out just now. So takes a rough idea. He practically needs to go for that. It's just so low on science. Goes for tab. Pops. So maybe has a tactic like classic army, but that remains to be seen. Make sure to draw 3. I'm the weakest, so I'm not that anxious about seeding, and all I have to seed are those colonies, and I don't have any bonus cards. So like this, Napoleon was a very short-term leader for me, but it was always the idea that maybe I won't be going military without a tactic. But there's at least some leaders now that I could choose from. I have some extra science now, so jobs could be a way forward. But with jobs, it's probably best to, or better to have at least coal economy. Otherwise, it's just a bit costly to go for those technologies. So like this, there's prof sports and PR. And actually, I can take and develop prof sports, go for PR, and now with the free civil action I got from the terrorism, I can rebuild the region as prof sports. And then I have one more civil action. I know about the prosperity, so I just decided to take the frugality. So like this, I set up a nice potential for PR, and with prof sports helps me with the strength also, since I have no tactic. So overall, a nice turn. Red seeds. There's the independence declaration, but no colonies are lost. Well, I suppose no one has any colonies. This goes for Conman, has to rebuild. But yeah, after this he doesn't even have enough rocks for even one food upgrade. So a very costly terrorism. But there's Air Force at least. Another seed. There's the National Pride I played, and I'm still able to win it. Even quite easily. Oops, there's Flaming and Multimedia. Can even go for 1 multimedia now, so it's a nice boost. And maybe if he has a nice tactic, he can feel confident enough to invest in those or that multimedia. Takes another reserves. So it doesn't show a tactic, and it wouldn't make him strongest or stronger anyway. Since he only has one cavalryman, so he's weakest. So let's see if he gets punished. I see it. Yeah, I know about the card. I wanted to have some more population. And yeah, I had a colony or agriculture, impact of agriculture to seed. Obviously, I'm now in 0 food production, but yeah, there's 1 mechanized agriculture coming. So I was maybe hoping to get that one, since I had already a bit of committed to the selected breeding. So maybe not taking that one. And if it's not the end of the world if it gets evaluated right now. It's just a bit less culture, but I also get culture seeding, and like this I reveal the prosperity and get some more population to put into use. So for me, I was looking at the civilizations of my opponents. Yeah, Praetorianer has some nice potential, but maybe it's still relatively nice for me. There's even internet I could maybe commit to here. So I felt quite good about this game versus Praetorianer, and then I was looking at pajada civilization. What's maybe the only thing that could maybe help him to overcome the tourism turn that he was forced to rebuild happy faces instead of economy. So I felt that oil is probably the card that could do something for pajada. So I still had the rich land, and also have Harvard College. There's efficient upgrade on the row. So there's a nice way to get into oil. So in part denial, I may not need the oil per se, but there could be something like economic progress, maybe played by pajada if he was counting on maybe getting the production up a bit earlier. So maybe that's a hidden bonus for going oil. Just go for the oil, upgrade with the rich land, up and build another prof sports, making me even stronger, and gets me more culture. And I also end up taking efficient upgrades, so I could have used this one also for the oil upgrade. But the rich land, it's a little bit less flexible card. Like this, then maybe there's a copy of computer, even though there's one on the row. So it's close. I mean, you could go either way. I don't think it makes a big difference anyway. So I decided to go for oil rather than going for internet, which is always strong with peer, but there's space flight. Empire State with going for oil could be playable. Manhattan Project and fast food all work quite nicely, even though I'm not maybe getting one of those since they already are on the row. And I see it's, and actually I'm the strongest and I get rewarded. And what did I get? I got food, which is not bad. Obviously, it could be a bit bad for corruption, but maybe I can handle it. Upgrades a farm and a mine, but it's still quite slow on that front, so yeah, not the greatest what after all. Also engineering and urban growth and military build-up, so maybe could still do something militarily. Doesn't take any wonder. Praetorianer seeds, there's freedom movement. He puts swordsman into multimedia, yeah, as expected. And actually goes for Manhattan, so maybe he doesn't have the best tactic, wants to be a bit safer. I mean, he doesn't have the most population also, so fast food not maybe that much better for him. And I would have quite liked the Manhattan Project myself, since the second copy of Air Force is on the row, so I will be playing without those. And some more cards to build more big buildings. So now I was contemplating between declaring Olympics or no at this turn. Yeah, let's look at. Yeah, pajada may not be ready for anything too fancy militarily now. But since I was going for a bit of a economy turn this turn, I just felt a bit safer. So yeah, let's just evaluate this first. I actually was able or willing to seed an army and a card. So that would make it 8. So that it was 6. It was still, yeah, still the same price, but yeah. So it was still relatively cheap, and I took rocks. So there's a lot of there was a lot of decisions to be made here. There was the freedom of movement and also the autonomous. I was able to win. I needed to decide on the bonus I got for that. And while I could use the science also, I could also maybe take the culture. I could even take the food. I could have supported the food also with my blue cubes. But since I want to go for some more economy this turn, I just felt the rocks are the best. And then it was about the freedom of movement. I could have maybe put a farm into Prof Sports or something, and then rebuilt it as mechanized agriculture. But I felt it was a bit, yeah. I felt the organized region is the worker I have least use for. So I decided to put it straight into Pro Sports, at least giving me some more strength and even one more culture. Then I increase population by the rev. Go for make ag, use the efficient upgrade. Take modern infantry. I have I have positional army. So I want to have that, and I also want to have with the theory. And then I went for even one cannon now, just escaping corruption. So I had some corruption issue in some lines that I was considering. So like this, I got some more food, some more nice cards. And actually I've seeded Impact of Wonders that last turn. It's not the greatest, but it's relatively equal for everyone. Pajada then seeds, and yeah, so up at the Olympics there was a way Pajada could have gone for Air Force and maybe Marlene and get at least one more army with the Air Force and then another with Marlene help. So it wouldn't be the biggest war, and I had already drawn the tactics, but just wanted to have the Olympics now. Still starts to build some more strength while upgrading his stuff. Also goes for Marlene, gets the bonus. But does he actually? Yeah, he does. He had the extra rocks to build even one more knight. So he prepares some military. And Praetorianer then finds a military theory. Goes for rifles, takes rockets, so maybe it's something like Modern Army. I have one copy, but maybe he has the other one. Upgrades swordsman, upgrades another one, and even another one. Still drawing full, and gets EG, so he gets some nice stuff. He's ready to build the Manhattan Project, and maybe another rocket, and then has some strength potential even for war purposes. Starts building the Manhattan. So yeah, maybe I really, in hindsight, would have preferred to have the Olympics to declare now, but it's always a bit tricky to evaluate about the right time to do it. But then again, I have now very nice economy going, so I can prepare for those wars also this turn. The wars will be around 50 strength or so it should be quite achievable, even without the Air Force. So here I see the balance, so I have a nice balance even now, and it could get even better. There's the agriculture. I just upgraded my farm, so it will be tied. I wanted to get even more economy with the computers, use the efficient upgrade for that, upgrade my food, and like this I've had 17 culture. If there's no wars, maybe go for even democracy, upgrade another mine, and play the reserves while I still can. So like this, I'm not taking the second reserves, but I will end my turn so that I can have 20 rocks for next turn, 17 science for next turn. So yeah, I had some, if there's some war stuff, I could still even grab the rev idea from 3 and then go for modern infantry and military theory. And if one possible defense also is just military theory with the government, and then go for a modern army outdated, while having modern infantry also to maybe get the up-to-date version of the tactic later on. So I was quite ready for a small war. Pajada decides to go for the war. I mean, it was, as per his own words, a bit of a desperate war, since he needed to finish on top of me in this game to have any chance. So it was practically a must that he needs to try something. Can go for patriotism. Air Force destroy some stuff, so for the balance it's just very bad. Goes for another army and can't really do more, or can't do more. Placer of idea, he's one stance short of, or maybe even one civil action short of going for Funda. Just takes the endowment. Reserves. So here Praetorianer takes a look at my cards, but still decides to war. So he has full knowledge about my potential, but still decides to war. Maybe he's trusting Pajada's calculations. Can go for the wave, rocket, the real tactic, and go for the Manhattan Project. Also prof sports, yeah, Team's Force will be gone by next turn. And yeah, he's one sign short of a movies next turn, so can't really pick that up. So let's see what cards come out. Yeah, first of all, I had military alliance. I was offering to Praetorianer, but then he decided to war me also, so maybe I could still go for it with him. Could be fine, but then again I just wanted to get some more value. I could still go for a defense where pajada needs to sacrifice an air force, even to tie. So that probably takes away the possibility of a follow-up war. So I was just willing to go for a bit of a tourism backed with pajada. So while there's also the Revidae on the row, so I could go for Revidae, go for modern infantry and military theory. I would actually reach about the same strength with that. But yeah, this is quite nice. I can use my civil actions maybe a bit better. Just popping a lot. And I actually have, with the frugality, I have just enough food for 4 population. So population is not the issue. I can make a defense with the more population. If I didn't have that much population, then obviously the option where I go for positional army would be better. But I go for military theory. Cavalrymen pop 4 times, destroy one iron, and then just build those units. Yeah, the last one needs to be the small one. So like this I won't be able to win the war for sure, but yeah, it's obviously a big cost for pajada to even have to sacrifice an air force just to tie and show the tactic. And yeah, age will be ending, but I just wanted to end it before pajada's turn, so I would take a 1 card here, and while fundamentalism, yeah, it would do something, but after sacrificing the unit, it's just not that likely that he can war me anyway. Since I like this, I still produce 10 signs, so I can still go for the modern infantry next turn and get at least one full army of the modern armies. So I wasn't really expecting a follow-up war here. So I just wanted to take tanks, since I could still use it to maybe score a bit better for maybe a competition or something. H ends. The war is evaluated. He sucks an air force and another pact. Engineering, and can go for movies at least. But he still chooses to go for rather an air force and not a movie, so maybe that's a bit of an indication of something he could probably defend while stacking versus Praetorianer, but maybe has some other plans. So yeah, at least I can win. I tied the war against pajada and even win versus Praetorianer. Yeah, I think it could have been even a better way in a vacuum to just offer the military pact to Praetorianer, since he was going to lose the war anyway. It wouldn't change anything between us, and it would make that pajada even loses the war against me. And Praetorianer was in a bit of a spot where he needed to win basically to not get relegated. But yeah, goes for crossbows and another multimedia, and sadly takes satellites away from me. I see population, I have the most population by far. And then there was actually, I see it, and there was iconoclasm, which, I mean, yeah, basically the game is over, but then again, there's still a balance, so I wanted to get the full amount of that. So I went for multimedia, popped, built one, went for reserves, and then maybe if there's something like architecture or variety, I decided to build one temple. And also, yeah, just got 2 more points also for the balance. So like this, I'm not really playing for strength, but then again, I would have needed to go for maybe modern infantry to do that, and it's just I have many more secure points for the balance like this, and maybe there's architecture. So I just went for this last turn. But then destroys even another mine in the lab. And doesn't go for another movie, but it appears that he's played strength. So strength is the first one. That's obviously bad for me, but that's really the only thing that's bad for me. There's progress, which is okay. Balance really nice, and a 0 for pajada. Technology wasn't played by me, but obviously it was played by Praetorianer against pajada. And population is also best for me. So like this, I'm able to win this game, and actually I was able to score 4 wins this season and one second place, so I ended up in 22 points. I lost the last game, but yeah, pajada, I think he won or will be winning the last game, so he will be at 20. So it's points wise still quite close for the season, but still, I'm actually able to go for Grandmaster next season, which is my first time in Intermezzo Grandmaster, so will be a bit of a new ground for me to step on, but yeah, it's always nice to play with the top guys. Yeah, so yeah, that's something to look forward to even in the next Intermezzo season. So I will actually be in Grandmaster, both international and Intermezzo for the next season. So yeah, a nice result for me overall, and then we'll get back probably with some Worlds games next. Both 4-player games are in late to mid H2, so maybe in a week or so those might get finished. Who knows? But in the meanwhile, if you're still contemplating on maybe taking part in these tournaments, there's actually the sign up period for the international is still open for another week, so it starts Sunday next week. So sign up for that if you feel like joining, and then yeah, thanks for watching, and bye bye.